It's no secret that Meridian Township puts an emphasis on environmentalism and sustainability. With groups like the Environmental Commission and the Meridian Conservation Corps, different events such as Weekday Warriors and Trailside Ecology, and action plans such as the Wetland Ordinance and Green Grants Initiative, the community has made it abundantly clear that helping the earth is a key component of its values. But don't take my word for it. Take it from Meridian Township's mission statement, which notes that providing a safe and welcoming, sustainable prime community is a major priority. But how does the township include the inheritors of the planet, the youth, in their mission? That is just one of the many questions we'll explore. I'm your host, Stella Govitz, and this is episode 2 of Meridian Makers, Young Environmentalists.
Harvey, and I'm the Environmental Programs Coordinator, but one of many people who work on environmental projects. The Environmental Commission was started a few decades ago to protect wetlands in the township. We have one of the strictest wetland ordinances in the state, protecting small wetlands as well as larger wetlands. And that was the initial reason that the commission was created, but that role has expanded to include other topics of interest, in particular climate sustainability, which would involve issues such as energy efficiency, more renewable energy, things that reduce CO2 release into the atmosphere. The students got, I believe, there was always interest in having students involved, but I think about a decade ago we created student positions.
We had a bake sale at school. Bacon plant sale. So we sold a bunch of different plants that we have in the greenhouse that we propagated. And then we sold those at both lunches and then a bunch of baked goods that our members made. And we made a little over $200.
I'm Emma Andrechek. I'm 17. I'm a freshman at MSU studying fisheries and wildlife, and I was on the Environmental Commission board as just kind of to give a youth voice and represent the Okemos Earth Club. I have always really loved nature. I joined Earth Club, found kind of a group of people that I got along well with, and started to see opportunities and heard about the board. I was told you have to apply, so I thought that a lot of people were going to be applying for that position, but it turned out that not very many people were going. So my senior year of high school, I decided to just put in the application and come to a meeting just to see how it was, and I really liked it, so I kind of stuck with it.
So Emma's been involved with the Earth Club and I think the Greenhouse Committee and Sustainable Fashion maybe. There's a Sustainable Fashion Committee, and they're always super helpful with our recycling events.
Being a lot younger than everyone else on the board, I definitely had a lot of different opinions, or just like how to make it more accessible, especially towards youth. I really learned the process. I never really knew how local government had worked, so when I had first started, I didn't even know what minutes meant. So really just learning how local government worked and how you have to really express your opinions and get a lot of people to agree with you and want to make change before that change actually happens. And then I saw the process of what the making change is like and how much thought really goes into it. I was also talking to the director of nutrition and food service and had a meeting with her, and she is at the high school kind of partnering with Earth Club. And we are trying to get more vegan and vegetarian options in the cafeteria. They would often respect us just like they would anyone else, and it was honestly a really good experience. I felt like I was just like all the other people and was treated with a lot of respect.
I think a lot of people are attracted to Meridian Township because of the green space, quality environment, the parks, farmers market, the trails.
just being able to talk and really have an understanding what's happening in the community and how people are really helping in their role in making Meridian more environmentally friendly. And I thought it was really cool just to really be up there, able to work with them.
We have these environmental assets in our township, and I think people want to protect them. So that's part of it. There's also a lot of concern about more global issues like climate change, and people are anxious to do something that's worthwhile and contributes to a positive future. Now, Amira is not officially on the Environmental Commission, but she was involved with another student, Addyson, on creating a podcast.
Hello everyone, this is the Earth Club podcast, and this is Addyson and Amira, your hosts.
Everyone. So me and Addie have been friends since 4th grade. We've known each other for a really long time, obviously. We were both in the Earth Club since freshman year, and we decided we just wanted to start the podcast because, like, first off, both of us really like to listen to podcasts, and we've always kind of dreamed of starting one.
Yeah. And we realized that, we really bounce off each other easily, we converse easily, we have these long conversations that we honestly think we could turn into like podcasts of their own one day. But I guess we really wanted a way in order to spread awareness as part of the activism committee on Earth Club about certain issues pertaining to environmental justice and climate change and all that, and, get it out to the community and our peers.
It was fun working with them. I've never created a podcast, but my son has been into podcasting, and so I hooked him up with them and kind of learned together about podcasting. And it was cool because they pretty much decided what the topics were, and they researched it, and I think they're going to be gearing up to keep it going this year.
We fell in love with the medium.
Yeah.
We thought it was a great way to reach greater audiences about, stuff pertaining to environmental issues, and we thought, what if we made one?
Yeah, they were pretty self-directed. It was more of an, just being encouraging and also helping promote it through the Green Gazette newsletter that I write every month.
So far, it's just a great way to get out these issues that we are so worried about, and that to spread greater awareness and show people how they can help.
We brainstormed topic ideas, but they pretty much directed the whole adventure.
Our first one, like we said before, tech waste.
Yes.
Really just recycling
Yeah.
old, like, iPhones, tablets, like the recycling event, pretty much. We wanted to, spread awareness.
Yeah, to that issue, especially when it comes to all the materials that we waste. We get rid of phones like that and stuff, and how we are wasting these very precious metals and alloys that we use in our phones when we throw them away, and we can obviously recycle them whenever we want. I've always been very in tune with a lot of issues currently, and one of the biggest issues facing our generation especially is climate change. And obviously we are right now facing the brunt of these effects. We're getting more intense natural disasters, more intense wildfires, more pollutants in our community. It's all creating a heavy burden that if we don't respond to now, our generation is kind of screwed. And I guess that's one of the biggest motivators for me to get into this, because, it's people like me and young people like me, as well as a lot of other people whose lives are on the line because of this. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I want to join the Earth Club and that I want to start this podcast, to bring more awareness to these issues and to inspire change.
Most of the time I feel discouraged because, like, the politicians and, like, the government really, I see that they're not focusing on these issues much. There's, like, the climate change hoax, all of that going on.
So what is tech waste? And no, that is not the massive turd that are the billionaires that run our tech companies these days who will leave us all as our planet dies from climate change.
It's definitely frustrating when I see politicians say that they're going to make change and they do nothing. Like
Exactly.
the greenwashing, how people say that, oh, we're going to make everything environmentally friendly and we're going to get rid of all these pollutants, and they do none of that and even approve more pollutants.
I mean, definitely I would really like to see a lot less polluting, especially the air quality. I know it's getting a lot worse. That affects a lot of my friends and family who have asthma. So I would really like if we could, stop polluting the air.
Climate despair is real, that sort of existential dread of what could happen. But by giving into that despair, we can't change.
There are times where you definitely feel helpless, but then you take a step back and you just kind of look at all the stuff you've done, like whether that's even taking out your recycling every week. You just think of all the different weeks that you've taken out your recycling and how much trash that's just accumulated. And you just think of the small steps that you've taken that have just led up to all this, that you've done so much to help. When I feel like helpless, I take a step back, I look at what I've done, and then that kind of motivates me to keep going, keep trying to take these actions and do more, try to get people more engaged and interested in environmentalism.
But then I see that in our community, like the recycling event, like I said, and the Earth Club and everything around me, I see that people are trying to change and are trying to make things better, so that definitely gives us some encouragement to keep going.
I forget who said it, but there's this one quote that one of my teachers had said where basically the whole earth is just, like, all the people on earth is basically a cup of water. Everyone's one drop of water, and in order to really make a change, you need so many drops of water. But just by one person taking an action, they can really change everything. So if you really just take that step forward, or you follow someone taking a step forward, you can be the change. You can lead that action.
Any difference is better than none. Even if we're not making a huge one now, hopefully if we keep going with this and we keep being consistent, then we can make an even bigger change in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of young people are more environmentally knowledgeable than I am, so they're kind of the future, and they'll be making the decisions in the future. So I guess I like the idea of involving young people in projects just because it's how I learn, and sort of inspires the enthusiasm of the adults as well, when people are excited about things. So it's important, but I'm not worried that there will be. I'm not trying to get people involved. I'm trying to help them do the things that they want to do. They're already inspired to do something.
To just do our part as citizens of the world to make a better difference. That can be buying from cleaner companies. That can be upcycling or buying used fashion. That can be composting. It can be recycling. It can be buying less plastic products. It can be a lot of things. We don't have to be a part of some big thing, but we can make our own changes and fight for what we believe in.
The best way for me to get involved was to join my school's Earth Club, so I think that that's a big one, just really taking small steps.
I have a lot of hope in my friends and my fellow peers who are trying to make a change for the better, to my community members who are trying to make recycling drives and do better in our community, and hopefully for those politicians out there who do actually want to make change. I feel like we are becoming more aware, in that if we keep becoming more aware, we can go on the right trajectory to reverse these changes.
Right, and I think young people especially, they are becoming more aware and involved. And I think that if we keep going with that, like in 20 years or something like that, hopefully all those young people will be elected and we'll be able to see actual change happenings. So
I think it all depends on us committing to that change.
Right.
And committing to that hope.